exposure leads to curiosity. You asking questions.
Yeah.
What leads you to start planning? What leads you to start executing?
2 weeks ago, we closed, I think it was like $280,000 in 1 week. So when we had the closings, I'm like, oh, it's nothing. But then when I wrote down at the end of the week what I was grateful for, I'm like, damn, boy, nigga made two. You teaching me theory, and as we know, everyday world is not theory. I always thought about, like when I was in college, is I'm learning from somebody who ain't really do what they teaching me. You teaching me theory, and as we know, everyday world is not theory. Something comes up sometimes, and you like, damn, there's no book for this. I gotta really figure out the solution. I can't go to a book for this.
Wisdom.
So and I think if you really teaching something, I think you should not. If you ain't gotta be all the way in, but at least be in it so that if something comes up, you can really speak to truth.
To have your ear to the streets.
Right. As opposed to, well, I think it's a big difference. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
No, I believe that 100%. Like you said, there's a lot of people that's not really, and you know, you guys. I follow him from y'all, Welby.
Yeah.
And I was on his live, and he said, "Yo, you should not be teaching as if you're not really in real estate." And he said, I'm not even saying, he said this, and I was like, that's respectable.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not saying you got to be doing deals every single month,
right?
But in the last 12 months, something had to happen.
Right.
Some type of closing had to happen.
Yeah. Right.
But if it's going past this 2-3 years since the last one, that's when it's a problem. So, but that's respectable. Like, he's not even saying you got to do it every month.
Yeah.
Like, just last 12 months, something had to happen.
Nah, it makes sense.
Teaching something had to happen, though.
Nah, it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes sense. So.
But like you said, like a lot of these dudes, and it's just, I don't know. To me, it's like the digital money is cool, it's love. The education money is cool, but at the end of the day, like. It's like you said, you teaching something that's like you're not up to date. Even in real estate, you got to continue in education.
Right.
You know, all these different things.
That's true. That's true. Like any profession, teacher, real estate agent, doctor, they got to do continuing education. Right. So you think about it. I think if you're gonna be a teacher, you gotta have. I mean, if you're gonna be teaching people and they spending their hard-earned money, because most of their target market is people that really ain't got it. They giving you the last to try to get it. So hopefully you really are giving them real game and something that you actually experience, not something that you either heard or something that's not 100% truthful. And I think about that, and that's one of the struggles that we've always had. Like, have I done enough to really be a teacher and to teach somebody? And that's been our struggle for the longest. Everybody like, man, I need to drop a course. I need to drop a course. And I always ask myself, like, dang, like I don't feel like I've done enough to really add that value to give to people. And then when I see people out here that's really being shady in the sense, like they ain't even doing it, and you collecting people money, I take a real problem. I got a problem with that. So,
and I felt the same way too. But like that conversation I was telling you we had, like sometimes, who are we? Here's how it was brought to me. Who are we to say we haven't done enough to somebody that hasn't even started?
But and you think about it, it's only, if we're looking at it from a percentage standpoint, if it's 100%, we a part of that 3 to 5% of actual doers.
You feel me?
There is 95% of the rest of the people out here that that look at us and be like, damn, y'all boys really doing it. Like, if I could do one deal, a quarter, we do one deal a week, and we be like, that ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? How can we do more? So sometimes, like you said, I think we had that imposter syndrome and tell ourselves like, man, I haven't done enough. But one thing I started doing is I started journaling. Every day I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And once I started doing that, I became more aware of like what I'm doing and what I've actually accomplished. Like 2 weeks ago, we closed, I think it was like $280,000 in 1 week. So when we had the closings, I'm like, oh, it's nothing. But then when I wrote down at the end of the week what I was grateful for, I'm like, damn, boy, I made $280,000 in a week, bro. I used to dream about making that in a year. Now we did that in a week. So I just think it's so many people that look at that and be like, man, if I could just do that in a year, because we was there before. Like, really think about it. When we all got started, we all jumped off the porch. Because at least for us, the way we grew up, I never seen that type of money. Unless it was like somebody dealing drugs. But other than that, it's just get a job, 30 years, get a retirement, and you're done. But then when you get, for us, we live our life by this term, exposure leads to expansion. And when you begin to get exposed and you like, yo, I just took a PJ to Vegas, the car came and picked us up from the airport. We get off and, we go stay at the Encore and we like really living, you know what I'm saying? Like Floyd Mayweather in the room next to us type living. You like, boy, I'm exposed to that. You like, boy, this is really possible. And the dude who we went with, he ain't no athlete, no rapper, he own his own business. So it just, again, it's exposed us.
I believe in that more than anything. Exposure leads to curiosity. You asking questions. What leads you to start planning. What leads you to start executing. So, for example, even on a smaller scale, like you said, look, listen, I want to go ahead and have a nice weekend. I just want to go to Miami, have a nice weekend, run a nice place, right? And you like, damn, I got floor to ceiling windows. We got this, like. Yo, then you start getting curious. How much do these cost? Like, I understand it was, a couple hundred a night, but how much does it cost to actually own one of these? Oh, it's only this. All right, so then it leads to planning, right? Okay, let's say it's $7,000 a month, right? You started planning like, okay, how can I make $7,000 a month? Oh, I do this, and that. Now it's the action. But it all starts with the exposure. If you would have never exposed yourself, let me just stay here for one night. So I tell people all the time, like, go ahead and stay in that nice hotel, stay in that nice Airbnb, rent that car that one time. Like, obviously do it in your means, but you know what I mean? Just go ahead and try something different because I really believe a lot of people don't really live life or try because they don't even know what it feels like. They don't even try to see what it feels like. A lot of people have these crazy, my birthday come around, I'm going to get effed up. I'm going to get tore up. My birthday come around, like, I'm gonna get lit. I'm gonna feel so tore up. Like, you know what that feel like, so you chasing it. You had a good time, don't get me wrong. Like, we all been there before. But nobody ever stopped to think like, dang, I'm gonna get in that lamb. I know what it, like, why don't we try to get that feeling, but we wanna chase the whole other feelings. It's like, if you go ahead and chase it, then you gonna be like, dang, that feel kind of good. Like,
and once you have it,
dang, we went like, 60 miles an hour, like 3 seconds, like that. We can't do that like that. How much do these things cost? Like, let me scroll, let me get on Zillow.com, let me scroll to the bottom. Okay, that is $10,000 a month for that mansion, $15,000 a month.
The beautiful thing about it, bro, you have that experience or that thinking for any type of lifestyle you want, whether you want the car, the nice house, the boat, or whether you want to say, I want an exotic animal, whatever that feeling is, you can have that curiosity. And then that curiosity leads you to say, hey, man, how much this cost? And then you figure that out, and then you can buy whatever it is. So it ain't got to be material thing. It could be a bunch of, whatever floats your boat. I think there's an industry for, you know what I'm saying? I think, but the biggest thing, though, that both of you guys haven't touched on yet, but you have, is I think a lot of people just automatically think, oh, I can't afford that. I can't do that, as opposed to how can I do that? So once you get that exposure, like you said, and you get curious, if you flip the switch, it's really just easy. Instead of saying, I can't, how can I? Once you start to do that, everything's become different because your mind becomes a place of trying to figure things out, as opposed to, I can't afford it, and it just shuts down and the thought is gone. But if you say, how can I think, and I know, your mind starts to figure things out. Because for us, it's a lot of things that we want to do that real estate is taking a lot of our free cash flow. So how do we do what else we want to do? And once we start thinking how, okay, it's time to drop a course. Okay, it's time to start having property tours and master classes to pay for the stuff that I want. But once we flip that switch, everything, and once you flip that, you start going really fast at it. You start really moving. So that was a huge thing that I learned from one of my mentors. Not I can't, but how can I? So.
And I think also another piece to add to that, a lot of us don't feel like we deserve that. Like really, like even you said it in a way like I don't feel like can we start teaching? We still growing ourselves. Like the same way I was telling this to Ian earlier, I was like, why do people apply for apartments and then get approved and they shocked? I gotta prove.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, on the inside, you feel like, yo, I didn't deserve. I don't deserve that new apartment.
Bro.
I don't deserve that new house. And for a lot of people feel like I don't deserve to make more than my mom. My mom made $40,000 a year. I don't feel like I deserve. My dad made $40,000 a year. I don't feel like I deserve to do that. So a lot of times we limit ourselves just off the strength of that one mindset that we deserve. And also, I feel like this, I really, really believe this, that people scared to be that individual. Like, I'm scared to, like, in my family, like, I'm the man. Like, they call me when something happens. I'm the person that's getting a phone call. Like, and it's funny. My uncle said this to me the other day. He said, "Man, yo, you really gonna be a millionaire one day." I'm like, "Bro," and he talking about, I'm really, you the one that's gonna really, you know what I mean, make it. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. What you talking? But a lot of times people scared that. I was talking to this girl at the job I worked at a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess years ago now. Girl was she was on CCIS, daycare stuff. They government pay for the daycare, and she said, "Man, I gotta cut out my hours." I was like, "Why?" She said, "Because I picked up that extra shift that got that raise, and they found out, so they cutting off my daycare assistance. So I gotta pay for that. So I gotta cut down my hours to 2 days a week, so I can still get the assistance. So they pay for the daycare." In my mind, I'm like, "Well, why don't you just make more money?
Yeah.
You already getting raised. Forgot to get another raise. Figure it out and make more money that way that you don't even need the system no more."
Facts, bro.
But we's like, no, I don't want to be that responsible. I don't want to make more money because that means more responsibility. So I'm going to just stay low where it's safer at. Yeah. I'm getting help and X, Y, and Z. A lot of us scared to be that person.
But it all goes back to the one word that I think stops a lot of people in fear. Mm-hmm. Fear of success. Mm-hmm. And some people always think about, I think in our culture, we talk about fear of failure.
No, it's fear of success.
Nobody ever really talks about, like, why are we not preaching fear of success? People always, I think a lot of people think like, dang, like if this happens, then I got to become this person, I got to do this, or I got to tell this family member no. So I think for us, how do we figure out a way to start really talking about overcoming that fear of success? Mm-hmm. Because on your live the other day, I'm calling you out, but like it was you saw the number, and that number kind of shocks you a little bit. Because what happens if it works out? What happens if it don't?
Right.
But just really thinking about if it did work out.
Right.
So.
Oh man, I'd be happy. I'd be happy. So look, we kind of jump right into it, but so one, I appreciate both of y'all. Like honestly, you guys some seriously genuine dudes, like pure. Like really, like yo, listen, what you need help with? Yo, you should come to this spot. You should come to this spot. Yo, I got you. You come, like you really like some genuine people, and I think I want you guys to be more, you know, from courses to classes to be out there because not even for the information aspect, but for the genuine aspect. Because there's a lot of people that just out here doing podcasts, giving out information that don't care, like literally don't. I get DMs all the time, like yo, I want to purchase your program because such and such finessed me. It's like not even about the money. You just don't care about people.
Yeah, that's one thing, to be honest. Another thing that I kind of struggle with, because it's just like I give out so much free game, and I do it just so unconsciously or like subconsciously, and it's because I genuinely just want to help people and help people get to the next level. So one thing my mentor challenged me with, he was like, "Man, it costs to get to where you are." He's like, "You guys need to start making people making people pay for your time," and it's just like. That's one thing that I struggle with, because it's just like, man, I really do want to, I know I can charge the money, but I just genuinely love helping people. Because I look at it, our life, bro, and it was so many people that reached down, picked their hand up to pull us up, and to help us get to where we are. But, I mean, what are you all thoughts on it?
So for me, I think it was a struggle for me until it was a mindset shift. Because and I think obviously we all know everything starts with the mind, right? And I think we looked at it in the wrong lens for so long. I started looking at it from this lens where I got 8 hours in my day where I can get things done, really, right? I got 8 hours to sleep, and then I got another 8 of whatever.
Kids, family, travel time, all that.
I ain't having an old boy growing up. So one of my primary reasons for doing life is to make sure that I spend time with my kids. And then once I started realizing that we'll give free game to somebody, and I won't hear back from them forever, and then I'll see them out, or I'll just DM like, yo, did you ever do anything? Oh, nah, and that kept happening, and then I started thinking like, I'm giving away, I'm letting you rob me of my kids' time. Once I started thinking that, it's like it's over at this point. I cannot. You absolutely. When people pay, they pay attention. But at this point, my mindset now is either I'm gonna give my time to you, I'm gonna give my time to my kids, and it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm prepping them because they are the next generation.
Exactly.
So if I am taking away time from them, that's gonna cost at this point. And that's something that in 2022 I really started to think about that, because last year, like every time somebody reach out on Instagram, bro, I'm answering the questions, I'm doing whatever, and then as soon as I started telling people, oh, okay, jump on the consultation call for X amount of dollars,
Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. Yo, my mentor said this to me one time. He said, every time that you saying yes to somebody, you saying no to somebody else.
Yeah.
Saying yes to them, you saying no to your kids.
Yeah.
So at that point, we gotta be mindful. Like, yo, I can't say yes to you because I'm saying no to somebody else. And if I even think about saying yes to you, it's going to have to cost because you see what I'm giving up.
Yeah.
And actually, and what we're doing is for people, we're collapsing time.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm literally in 30 minutes or an hour, I'm giving you 3-4 years worth of game.
Yeah.
3-4 years of wisdom, 3-4 years of experience, 3-4 years of lessons. So like we're collapsing time.
Yeah.
True.
Would you, if I said, look, listen, give me $1,000, I'm gonna give you 10 grand back, would you do it?
How many times can I do it? Like that's what I'm thinking.
So we really collapsing time by how many years it took you to understand how to do that fast.
So like I tell people all the time, you can make more money, but you can't make more time.
Facts.
So I'm always thinking how, like you said, how do I collapse the time to get there faster? Because at the beginning when we first started, it's like, oh, I grew up in the hood. Part of that gift and the curse is I know how to figure out. You put a problem in front of me, it's gonna get figured out.
Yeah.
But that as I started to make more money, I started to realize like I could have learned this a year ago, but I just wanted to figure it out.
Yeah.
So now my whole mentality is using that cheat code of how much is it, and what are you gonna let me know,
Bro?
How much is it? How much is it?
Yo, I was at this networking event. It was like 2 months ago, and I saw this dude when we was talking, and I seen he was talking some game. And I said, look, listen, I don't want to be blind, I don't want to be disrespectful. I said, you talking some style, I really like it. How much?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? How much?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You really giving us some real game. I don't want to disrespect you by asking any more free. How much? I'm willing to wire this money first thing in the morning. It threw him off because I don't want to play no games with you. You really talking some stuff. Clearly you have some information because you just blew my mind in this last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's not even play. Let's take it to the next level. And I respect your time for that. And people really will, dang, like, serious. Like, and then what I realize is when you talk to people like that, things start moving faster for you. They respect you a little bit more. They give you even more game than you even paid for. And then you also build that relationship because you're not playing around. Nobody want to deal with somebody that's playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's all about the approach, bro. You can relate that to anything in life. Like if you want a girl, it's how you approach it. You know what I'm saying? If you want information and you just come to me and be like, yo, I got a question to ask you. But where's the value exchange? You just come to me and you just want me to deposit in you, you know, and you just withdrawing from me. So it's just like the way you step to him and say, hey man, how much? Like that threw me off. And for me, that's the type of energy that I want around me. If he ready to come and, you know, spend some bread and to get some information from me, it's just like, dang, he gonna spend bread, he gonna spend money to make an investment, he gonna do what it takes. And I'm the type of people that you want around you, yo.
So, but and another thing, so, you know, we big in the crypto and trying to tell you like, do it.
I got my weekly investments.
But I just see what paying somebody can do to really change your life. We made $1 million in a day just because we hired not one but 2 mentors in the crypto space, and that has dramatically changed our life just because we collapsed time. So I think we got to figure out how do we also, that's another message that we preach. Guys, collapse time, and the way you do that is you pay. Obviously pay the right people.
Clearly.
Pay the right people, but just pay and you collapse that time. Nothing against YouTube University, but you still putting the pieces together.
I call them YouTube Yodas. They trying to learn all that stuff YouTube on his own.
Yeah.
Yo, one thing, like you said, collapse time. I feel like money is only valuable because when its time is attached to it. I heard somebody say this before, and I thought, I'm listening, like, where you about to go with this? He said money is only valuable based on the time that's connected to it. Other than that, it's just a piece of paper, it's currency, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, right, I didn't ask you this before. Is $1 million a lot of regular? Before y'all say no, is $1 million a nice amount of money, right?
Yeah.
So, is $1 million a nice amount of money if it took you 20 years to make it?
No.
Exactly. Is $1 million a lot of money if it took you 10 years to make it?
No.
Is $1 million a lot of money if it took you 2 days to make it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of money, boy.
It's the same amount of money.
Yeah.
It's just the time aspect.
Yeah.
So like you said, how we can collapse time. How can we make more money, more experience in a shorter amount of time? That's where the value gonna come out of. But if you gotta work 30 years to make that same dollar, it's it's not that valuable anymore. It's watered down now. So, but before we going crazy, but I want to make sure. So just a little bit about you guys both in real estate space. So the one thing I like about you guys, which is hard. It's hard as crap. And I don't know. Do y'all think? And you can answer this question after the fact. Because of y'all brothers, y'all so solid together and both investing in real estate, both working together in business. It's hard as hell to try to get two men on the same page. So, like I got sandbox people that like we still like
I think a big part of it is what my mom instilled to us, like the values that we have and what we saw growing up. I think that makes it a lot easier.
I think for me, like anything that's in life, it starts with mindset. And for us, I think what we click so well is we have the same mindset. Like what it is.
We don't agree all the time.
We it's again because we two different people.
Right.
Even though we twins, bro, two different people, two different personalities, two different likes, two different wants, two different needs. But at the same time, we just connect here in the mind. Like I know what his goals are. I know what his vision is because we share the same goals. We share the same vision. So it's so easy. So for us, like even when it's time to make a decision, that we get the answer based off the vision that we've already casted for ourselves. So we know, okay, boom, we want to buy X amount of real estate this year, and he may feel like I may feel like sometimes he inflates the goal, which I love, and then sometimes I'm here on the goal. But the point is, we got the same vision, so we meet somewhere in the middle that we know, okay, it's a goal that's gonna push us and it's gonna challenge us, but it's something that we can attain this year, and it's going to help us to get to that goal, that vision that we've already set.
Also, to his point, like people see us as one person, but we are complete opposites. Like
I told you, I said you, but I'm talking about both of you at the same time.
Like he said, we finna buy 100 million this year. Germ, what you mean, Germ? We finna buy 100 million this year. Germ, let's be a little bit more realistic. And I think in a great partnership, visions have to align, values have to align, belief system have to align, but also what he is strong at, I'm weak in, and what I'm strong at, he's weak in. So a lot of people see us as the same person, but they don't understand, like, this is still the same partnership. We go through the same things any partnership would. The only difference is that when we go at each other like brothers as opposed to partners, but everything else is the same.
Right.
So for us, I told him just the other day, bro, I'm thankful you my partner. Because somebody else was just telling us, man, we breaking up our partnership. It's like, dang, everything looked so good from the outside looking in. What happened? So I just know for us, it's just like he said, visions align, like everything is in alignment. And do we agree all the time? We barely agree, but we understand what the long-term vision is, and we always do what's best for the long-term vision, as opposed to what my ego says and what his ego says.
That's good.
For us, we had somebody a long time ago that told us, guys, get your egos out the way and understand you got to do what's best for the business, not what's best for your ego. At the end of the day, we all are men, and I think a lot of high, how can I say it? I think a lot of men that are high achieving, they have to, in order to get to that next level, you have to remove that pride and that ego.
Facts.
Once we did that, it became 10 times easier to move.
It's easier to say, you're right. I'm sorry, you was right. Once I remove the ego, it's easier to, even like when we going at it, it's just like, ego takes over. But then 5-10 minutes later, I think the spirit is somewhere in there, and it comes out and it say, you know what, damn, I was wrong. and you go to them like, you know, you're right. We'll make that move. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you know, the vision is clear. I feel like the clearer you are on what it is that you want in life, the easier the road that you're going to take to get there. But when you all over the place and you're not clear on what it is that you want, you're going to go down, you know, Brickell Avenue, then you're going to go down Miami Avenue, then you're going to go down Philly Avenue, and you don't know where you're going. But once you clear, like, okay, boom, I see the end road. I may have to take a little turn, make a little right turn here, but I'm still going to get back on track and get to where I'm trying to go.
Right.
Yeah.
I like using this word speed, and everybody don't got to agree with me or do it how I like to do it. Sometimes it get me in trouble, but I like the word speed as far as like, okay, look, I'm wrong. How we gonna fix this? Let's get straight to the point. Yeah. But like you said, let's put the ego to I was wrong.
Yeah.
How we about to fix this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This didn't work out. How we about to fix this? Like people say, and I say, I want to fail as fast as possible because that way we can succeed faster. Okay, it didn't work. All right, why it didn't work? What we need to fix, what we need to go ahead and do. The same way with partnership. Okay, look, bro, you was right. I was wrong. What's next? See, not drag this on with this ego thing.
What you said was key, bro. I want to fail fast. And that's what a lot of people are scared of. Like, we understand that failure, the faster we fail, the faster it's going to get us to that success. So for me, like, people look at us on Instagram, look at you on Instagram and be like, man, they doing it. Little do you know, but I just lost 100 bands in this investment. I done, you know, last year alone, bro, we did the numbers. We lost like 260,000 in investment. Like, just, you know, when bad investments, whatever the case is, but we lost that. People see the successes, but they don't see what came with that. But within those losses, I don't like to even call them losses. I like to call them lessons. Well, we learned some critical things. Hey, here's how not to invest moving forward. Here's the type of people you don't want to invest in. Here's how, you know, because one of the investments, it was just pure hype, bro. It was pure hype. It was just like, you see hype.
Everybody that we trust, oh boy, let's do it.
We all been there before.
It was hype. And then when you look back at it, you like, bro, we didn't do no proper due diligence. Like, we ain't get no result. We ain't see no results on paper. It was drama. And we, like, one thing we live our life off, and then we learn from one of our mentors is data, not drama. We made a decision based off drama. So when you make a decision based off drama, what you get in return? Drama. When you make a decision based off data, you get results.
Somebody just shared this investment opportunity with me the other day. They said,
hold on, why didn't you tell me about it?
it just literally 2 nights ago, and we was talking about it, and the person that shared this was, I'm gonna connect you with the guy. He gonna put you on. He gonna put everything together, and it's hype.
Yeah.
And he sat there and was like, yo, when did you wire your money over? I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's hype. We just building up the hype. But when you didn't, what if I would have went in and wired that money over the same day? He said, we can get you started tonight.
Yeah.
There's a possibility it would have went south, and I would look back. Then did my due diligence afterwards. The person that informed me about it, they didn't even invest their money yet. They said, I'm going to do it. I just want to put you on too. It could go left or it could work out. But like you said, due diligence, like, all right, now let's really start inquiring about things, because I feel like when you don't do your due diligence and things don't go right, you can only blame yourself.
Facts, bro.
Like, dang.
Facts.
But we understand that. A lot of people don't understand that because part of the investment that we made, some people are mad at the guy that told everybody about it. But I'm like, we all had a decision to make. It ain't like you better make this investment. So I think another thing that we all have to be conscious. Yeah, we want to put people on, but we need to make sure we're putting the right people on, so we don't got to deal with the drama on the back end. Because people think when you make an investment, you're supposed to win every time. Warren Buffett ain't win 100% of the time. He one of the greatest to ever do it.
I lost on one of my investments recently. I'm about to shut it down.
So it's just like, I think for us, we got to also be very cognizant of who we are sharing with, because that can turn into something that is not good for everybody involved in the situation. But if you put the wrong person on, because people are like, oh, put me on. I put you on, and it didn't work out. Now you blaming me. I just told you the information.
I ain't ready to get put on too.
Right.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Not even ready, because you try to put them on and they go off the hype. Don't even realize there is still some work that you have to do behind that. And they like, yo, you put me on the real estate stuff, but why mine's not working like yours? Like, yo, I gave you the opportunity. I linked you up with the lenders. I showed you how to find, but you still got to do the little leg work behind it. Like, I put it on a silver platter for you, but you still got to eat. You still got to afford. You still got to cut your own food up. You still got to do that. But a lot of people, they like, I want you to package everything up to me. I want you to open the package up for me. I want you to put it together for me. I want, like, dang, it's not Best Buy, Geek Squad. We setting the whole thing up for you. Like, you still got to do your own work.
Fact.
But one thing I want to ask is, what year did, like, you really got into real estate? Like, what year was that for y'all?
2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Yep, it was February 16, 2016.
So we had a cleaning business. Mm-hmm. We sold that cleaning business.
Was it like so I'm gonna cut you off. Was the cleaning business like a brick and mortar storefront cleaning business? People come in, or it was like literally we go.
So we had a partner in that company. He saw the vision. We saw the vision as well. And this is important while you audit your circle, and you got to make sure you have great people on your team. We was growing the business. Everything was going well from the outside looking in. But internally, we both was like, we hated this business.
No, we didn't even know we hated it.
We didn't realize we hated it.
I've been there before.
And I think this is what a lot of people fall short in life because they do things that they hate. And we was going down that path until the guy was like, we went in for a strategy meeting. It's like, we complained and we just telling them all the issues. And he like, guys, you guys don't like this business. We're like, what? You don't like this business. All you talking about is negative. And at that moment, I realized you got to do what makes you happy, not don't chase a dollar. Because the vision was big. If we would have kept it, it probably would have been big, but I probably would have been miserable getting to that point. So he basically said in that conversation, God, sell the business. So we put the business on the market.
You sold it the partner?
We just.
That's one thing, if you don't mind, want to talk about, because nobody talks about this. Nobody understands the concept, how to do it, the strategy to do it, or how is it even possible? Because when people think about selling something, you can selling something physical. How do you sell a business?
So again, it goes back to having the right people on your team, because again, growing up where I grew up, only thing you can sell, I'm selling clothes, shoes, drugs, food, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And when he helped us see that opportunity, it's like, dang, basically somebody will approach you because you fit into a piece that they're trying to build for their company, or you put it out there and somebody may just be looking for a new opportunity. You sell a company, you twiddling your thumbs. And most people are not trying to do startups after they sell a company because it takes so long to figure it out. So that's why you see companies that have been around not even that long, they're getting high valuations because they figured out certain things. Again, collapse in time. That's why people are buying companies. So we put it on the market, and a guy
with a business broker.
With a business broker, a guy who was trying to he was about to start a commercial piece to his business because he had a high-end cleaning service that only cleaned homes. He was trying to figure out how to get in commercial. He was about to go start it. We put it on the market. He saw the opportunity and he jumped on it because it fit what he was trying to do. He just collapsed time. What took us 18 months to build, he just spent he spent some money and he's already up and going. So
you mind me asking, what was the number that you guys sold it for?
So we again.
If not, it's cool.
No. So for us, we had an opportunity to sell it for 6 figures. Us not really knowing anything because the partner that we had, he's not the type of person that is on top of us.
I think let's take it a little back so you understand the number. So when you sell a business, based on your industry, you sell for X amount of multiple. So if you're in the tech space, you can sell 10, 15, 20X. For us, it's a cleaning business. There's no high barrier to entry. So the lower the barrier to entry is, the lower the value is. So in the cleaning space, you can sell for either 1 to 2 times your cash flow. That first year,
plus no crazy equipment along.
So that first year, I think we netted like 60 or 70,000. So based off that, we should have been able to sell for like 150, maybe even closer to 200.
Right.
So when we put it on the market, because we just wanted out, we put it on the market for like 120,000, and
against the advice of the business broker, like, gosh, you can get more. You can get more.
We just wanted out, bro. I just wanted out, bro. We just wanted out at that point because we made our own niche. It was cleaning dental and medical offices, and that's what our niche was. That's what our specialty. So that's why we could sell at a little higher multiple. But we just wanted out. We put it on the market for 120,000, and we started getting offers. One offer, I think the lady, she offered like 110 or something, or like 115. She offered us.
It was just under 100,000. That was the initial number, but the real offer was like just under 100,000. At the time, like, nah, we wanted, because we were trying to figure out what was next.
Right.
We didn't have that. We didn't have that in set in stone yet. Again, you got to be clear on what it is that you want. Because if we were clear on what we wanted, we would have been able to take that 110 or whatever. Let's just call it 100,000. We would have been able to take the 100,000 and moved on. For us, not really knowing what was next for us, it was like, no, not really. Let's try to get what we wanted out, but we wanted that number, what we sell, what we put it on the market for. So that buyer went away. He heard an ad on the radio, and everybody said, you make money doing real estate. So we basically spent 70.
Do y'all know anything about real estate?
Oh, no,
nothing. We knew nothing about
nothing
real
at
estate,
all.
bro. I
Nothing
just
at all.
heard an ad, you could flip houses. And I always saw on TV like, oh, you make money flipping houses. You watch AGTV, they do a flip 60,000. So I hit an ad. I'm like, yo,
I need that.
You did
like
70,000 at the end of 12 months. Like,
So, I heard the ad. I came to him, and at this time, my child's mother, she told me she was pregnant. So I'm like, man, I'm about to have a baby. And then when we was doing the cleaning company, we wasn't making no money. So I'm like, man, look, this ain't cutting it. We need to figure out something. So I said, I heard the ad that we was broke at the time. You hear the ad on the radio, it's free to go to the class. So I'm like, hey, let's go. So we went, and then it was
were
just
both of y'all on the same page?
Oh yeah.
It was funny. It's usually like one person not really they only going off of the strength of the other person.
because again, like you said, we wasn't clear on what we wanted. It was just, hey, let's figure out the next thing. We heard real estate is something that we thought we wanted to do. Long story short, we went to the class, got ourselves $55,000 into debt because, like,
not doing proper due diligence.
Not doing proper due
signed
diligence.
up for the mentorship.
We signed up for a mentorship. It was like $55,000, and we ain't had no money. We put it all on a credit card. We had great credit. Always had good credit. So we put that $55,000 on a credit card, and we didn't learn
One
anything.
card.
It was like
Okay. I was about to say that everybody don't got this type of
Not about like 3 cards.
Oh,
about like 3 cards.
right.
So we put it on the credit card, and then the next day we realized we made a mistake. We realized the very next day, because they
Did you go back to the person and try to get a refund, or you just?
It was a
up?
big time company. They come out. They have a great sales presentation. Boy, they selling Jesus slippers, boy. Like they selling. Hey, I'm telling you.
Hey, they was on it, boy. They was on it. It was good.
Like in today's environment, I want them selling for us. Like whatever we selling, they need to be on the phone selling it. Like I mean, we sold. They teach you how to increase your credit card limit on your credit cards,
So you can be able to buy the product.
So you can be able to buy the product. So we go to the back of the room, swipe the credit card. We leave that night excited. The next morning he called me. And he was like, yo, what did we just do?
Like, boy, like,
$55,000 in debt. We didn't have that money. It was all on credit card. But one thing about us and where we from and how my mama raised us, but if I'm gonna bet on anything, I'm gonna bet on myself.
Facts.
So, and that's just our mentality with anything that we ever do. It's like, I'm gonna bet on myself.
So basically we doing the mentorship, and they ain't really teaching us nothing. It's just like hit bits and pieces. It's not everything to really go out and do what we need to do. So we just start talking to people. And for me, I think that's a key lesson here. I think you got to tell people your problems, because when you tell people your problems, they can give you solutions.
Tell the right people your problems.
Yeah, tell the right people. So we told this dude, like, man, I did the same thing, guys. I ain't gonna say a company, but I did. They got me as well. But I found this mentor. You guys need to call him. We called him, begging and pleading, like, please, bro, we just spend all this money. Give us a discount. No, my price is $15,000 for the both of you guys. Swipe the card again. Like, let's do it. 70,000 in, we never did a deal. Now, mind
The
you,
second one work out though.
oh no, I'm gonna get to that. So the second one worked out really well. So we $70,000 in. Now at this point, the cleaning company is by the wayside. We managing it, but we not really paying attention to it. Like we trying to figure out this real estate, and if you're not focused on something, you take your eye off the ball, you're gonna miss where the ball is supposed to land, right? So that cleaning company, we started losing customers
Left and
right because we're not really paying attention. The volume's dropping a little bit more. And then after 3 months, we did our first real estate deal, $19,500.
Nice.
We called the broker, yo, you got 1 week to sell this business. If you don't sell it, we shutting it down. So he found the guy that eventually brought it. And the guy, the broker was like, how much do you guys want? We just want $20,000. We're gonna pay off our investor and just have a little bit of money to live out the next couple of months until we get the next deal. So what we could have got for like 110, we sold for 20,000.
Damn.
But the key that we all had to think about, and like even in the real estate space, is we were motivated sellers, bro.
Fact.
So people ask us all the time. People ask us all the time. People ask all the time, like, how y'all get these good deals? It's all timing, bro. Because what we could have got 110,000.
We've been in that space.
What we could have sold for 110,000. Over time, you know, your situation changed. Our situation changed. I had made real money, $19,500
At the time.
At that time,
Yeah,
but I ain't had
good
no money
money.
in my pocket. That's great
That's
money
good money.
on one deal, bro. So that my situation changed, and when my situation changed, I became highly motivated, and I said, "Hey, give me this number. If it does what I need to do, I'm out." We were motivated sellers, bro. At the right time.
Paid off that partner, that investor. We had a little bit of money to carry us the next couple of months. And we just one led to two led to three led to four. Now we doing 10 deals a month at this point. And we ain't even reach our peak yet. But it all happened because of the situation. So
So now, when was that year? Because obviously y'all was wholesaling, right?
yeah, we first started.
So what was that year? That was 2016.
Yep.
So was 2016 they got continuous, or 2016 was pretty like steady, only a little bit. In 2017 they got.
Once we got, you do it, bro. You prove a concept.
2016.
Proof of concept, like
we did that first deal. I think we closed it in like May or June. We did that first deal, 19,500 from there, bro. Our first year, I think we did like 22 or 23 deals that first year.
154.
It was 154,000 total we made that year. And for us, bro, it was just like, that was great money.
Coming
At the
from
time.
60, 70,000 and doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of. So let me ask you, when was that year? Because now you guys are full-blown investors.
Yeah.
Not just investors for us wholesale investors, but real investors. Not to say that's not a real investor,
Right,
but
yeah.
you get what I mean. So when was that year when you like, all right, let's stop making everybody else rich. Let's get on this side of the table.
So what we did was year one was wholesale. And this wasn't planned, it just happened. And I think when you a great person, the universe comes together for you. Year one, we did wholesale. Year two, we did our first flip, and we wasn't even trying to do the flip. It was, we wanted to make $25,000 on a wholesale deal. And it was one buyer that came close. He said, I'll pay you guys, instead of 175, I'll pay 172. We wanted that, we knew what we want, we was clear. We want to make 25,000 on a deal because it had took him a long time.
It was a short sale.
It was a short sale, so he had to
Wow.
go through a lot. We wanted to make 25,000. And the guy was like, nah, I only pay 172. We called our mentor, Key, gotta have the right people in your corner. Yo, man, like, we really want to make this amount of money. Let me come see the house. He came to see the house. Guys, this is an easy rehab. We had that fear. But he was the one that, kicked us, like, y'all can do this, go ahead and do it.
But the key is, though, bro, it's just like you gotta have people in your life that's gonna challenge you, bro. He really challenged us.
That's the key.
Because we sitting there giving every excuse on why we can't rehab the house.
Like, we ain't got the money.
We ain't got the money. He was like, I'll give you guys the money.
We ain't got the team.
You can use my team. I got a team of contractors, electricians, plumbers to do whatever you need.
We don't know. We've never done a rehab, but we don't know what we're doing.
I'll help you guys through the process. I'll hold your hand through the process.
What's next?
Bruh, you can't keep giving excuses. He giving us every answer that we needed. So from there, he did everything he said he was gonna do. He gave us the money to close on the house. We closed on the house. He gave us the contractors to do the work that was needed in the house. And then even so, he helped us, look at the valuation of it. Here's what you guys can resell it for. That first deal we netted 47.
Was this from that second mentor? This was another.
Oh, this is the second one.
Second mentor.
I think the key, one thing, and I want you to finish the story, but I want to really people understand. Mentor, that mentor really helped put the whole play together.
To this day, bro, this guy, he's still putting play together for us.
It's like I was on the live with somebody the other day, and he said, how can I be successful without mentorship? It's like, why? It's like, why? It didn't make
Get off
sense.
the live.
It didn't make sense to me, but he literally put the whole play. But go, my fault.
No, you good, bro. So that first deal, we netted 47,700.
And you went at 25.
We netted 47, and it took us a little longer. So it took us, I think, maybe no more than 90 days to do the deal. The buyer renovate it, put it on the market, and sell it. We made $47,000, I think $724 on
That's
that
still
house.
not bad.
But again, proof of concept.
Proof
I
of
could do it once,
bro.
I keep doing it. So year two,
Year two, bro, we just buying and we just start flipping. Start raising more money, and just doing more and more flips.
year three, again, divine intervention. It was another deal. It was worth probably like 180. We was gonna pick it up for 60. You could rent it as is.
Buying it for 60.
Yeah, we
Hindsight 2020. You still wish y'all can get them same numbers?
Oh, what, man, boy!
And I'm buying.
Cause if I was still being able to buy like that, this shit is mine. Like, I'm gonna go to the interview of my career. But so you do the right thing, you treat people right. I know everything comes together. So we got the deal for 60. We wasn't thinking about buying runners. We just kept money. I need money. Long story short, like something happened where the deal fell apart and the dude needed us to close. We had already built the relationship with lenders. Hey guys, lend on this property for us. Great deal. It's worth, we got it at 60. It's worth like 180 at the time. It didn't need much work. You can rent it kind of as is. It was a no-brainer for a hard money lender. So year three, we started focusing on buying rentals. So like we had a full progression of our journey. And then really year four, we started doing development. And none of this was really planned. It was just like as I really sit and think about, like everything just came together the way that it needed to. So that's our journey as far as real estate.
Do you think that if you guys weren't twins, you solo, do you think it would progress as fast as it did?
I don't think it progressed fast enough for us being twins. I don't think it progressed fast enough. I think we moved kind of slow. But because it went back to about 2 years ago is when I realized the value of collapsing time. Before, like I said, we grew up. You can figure it out. I can figure it out. I'm not going to pay you for something that I can figure out myself.
Right.
Having the wrong mindset. Once I realized, like,
it's not the fact that I can't figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out faster.
Right. Yeah. Right. So for us, like, I think everything is cool, but where we are now, I genuinely believe we should have been here 3 years ago.
But I think
if we would have paid
like us, it's key for us to unlearn and relearn.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of times in our life, like, we learned something from our parents that, let's be honest, it's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom, like, you think about it, bro.
I already know
like,
you say.
I'm gonna say something different. You can speak on that, but like, I think about like the way, and it's nothing against my mom because that's all she knows, but like, I think about her reality is, hey, get a job, stay there 30, 35 years, I get a great pension, I can retire, then I can travel, then I can live my life. Bro, I had to unlearn that behavior and relearn that, no, I'm going to make money today so I can live my life today, so I can travel while I want on a PJ, today. Go to an island today. You know what I'm saying? While I'm 30. So I had to unlearn to relearn the lifestyle.
Another thing, bro, like, people, my mom, anybody that knows my mom is the most genuine, kind-hearted person. We genuine because that's what we saw growing up. I have no choice but to. My mom always wanted the best for everybody, even putting herself at a huge detriment at certain times. I remember when we was in college, everybody else got credit cards. Josh, let's go get credit cards. Let's build up our credit.
No, it was having a mentor. It was the dean that said that.
Yeah, the dean's like, go get a credit card to build up your. I went home and told my mama, oh no, you better not do that. That's the first thing. Credit card is the devil. Da da da. Number one, she was speaking from her experience because she didn't know no better when she got her credit card. That's why her credit was ruined at the time. Don't do it. Da 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 da.
Insecurities pushed on y'all.
Right. And she meant well, but was she right?
Yeah. A lot of people mean well, but I believe in this thing. It's the difference between what's real and how you feel. Like, sometimes you can feel some type of way, but that don't mean it's real. I feel some way about credit. I get it. That's how you feel. But is it factual? Is it real behind it? So that probably was that same situation.
But one thing that I learned, like, kind of off topic with just even within my marriage, was you just got to understand, like, just really how a person, how they think. You get what I'm saying? You got to be careful on who you take advice from.
Yeah.
I learned that because, like, in my marriage and even things that I've experienced in my life, like, I'm asking somebody for advice that never been through what I've been through. How can I get advice on my marriage from my mom, my aunts, my uncles that ain't never been married? You get what I'm saying? So I take that principle that I learned from my marriage to life. Like we was talking about having mentors earlier. How can you say you want somebody to teach you to make $1 million that ain't made $1 million yet?
Exactly.
That don't even make sense. So for me, like one thing that I'm conscious of now is when I ask for advice, I'm asking advice from somebody that has been through what I'm going through.
The right
That's
person.
key.
The right person.
So going back to one piece, you guys said something I didn't even know. I think you might have mentioned to me before. I didn't even realize the college. Do you think college was okay, the best thing in the world, or it wasn't even necessary?
Hold on, let me go first. I think everybody should go to college, but college is not for everyone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Because like for us, I didn't learn anything in college, but the relationships that I built in college was just like you can't get nowhere else because when you're in college, most times you guys are all on the same level.
Yeah.
If I meet you out and we're older, maybe I make more money than you, and I don't give you that genuine love. So in college, we met people that, you know,
We're all figuring it out.
We're all figuring it out, and who was just genuine. And today, these are people that I can call on. Like we know attorneys that we went to college with, my dentist. You know what I'm saying? We went to college with our, you know, other friends and business associates, people that we own businesses with. We went to college with. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, everybody should go to college, but college is not for everyone, and that's what I mean.
For us, I can't really speak about college because our college experience was different. That's the only time in our life we ever had a W-2 job because we had to work to pay for college.
Right.
But I think the big benefit is like the relationships that we created. Another thing about college, it taught me the importance of networking. It taught me the importance of networking, and I think that was one of the biggest benefits. Well, I grew up, I don't know you, like why you talking to me? It's wrong. That's another thing that we had to unlearn. I mean, we learned when we had to, whatever he said, like, right? So that was just networking and just meeting new people and being happy to meet new people as opposed to we all partners, we all grew up on the same block, so nobody else ain't joining our partnership, nobody else ain't coming with us. That was one of my biggest things that I learned in college. As far as like really learning stuff, everything, I was a finance major and I graduated like top of my class. Like like we was on it, bro. Like we worked, but I wanted to graduate with a 4.0 GPA. It was one class. It was one class. I got like a B- or something. But I think about everything that I learned in college, like really in the classroom. The only thing that I'm really using right now to this day is sales. I'm using the finances and everything, but like what I'm actually doing.
Because I mean, college is theory. What we doing is real life. You know what I'm saying? In theory, everything looks great. It sounds perfect in theory. But when you're actually doing it, it's just completely different. So guys like us are doers. So a book may say one way, but that's, again, it's theory. Everything looks perfect in a book. Everything looks perfect on paper. But when you get out on the field and you flip your first house, you put your budget together, you just say, I know it's not going to cost me $60,000 in theory. But when you actually do it, the electrical is cloth wiring, the plumbing is cast iron, so that you just bust through your whole budget, you know? So that's kind of, that's how college, I guess, relates to real life.
Yo, this conversation just now just had me a flashback and just made me realize something that I never thought about before. Like you guys said, we went to college and it's not for everybody, but yet the connections y'all made, the experience, and more importantly, the bottom line, I got y'all actually tried. So I went to college, went to Penn State Abington, right? Subdivision, y'all heard of Penn State, but it was a smaller campus. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, my GPA was a 0.8. Like it was bad. I got kicked out because the dean basically said like your academics just don't fit with our program. Like they gave us a chance and he was like, yo, this not clicking, period. But what I realized is, and I'm like, I used to, for the last couple years, I'm like, I graduated high school 2011, and then went straight to college. And then it hit me, I was like, for years I've been saying like, that was a waste of time. Like I didn't build no connections. I mean, I got some friends from there, but as far as like you said, some doctors and lawyers and all types of stuff like that, I didn't build no connections, no crazy things. And I look back like, I didn't even really give it a chance. I was up there doing everything I wasn't supposed to be doing, period. But it all goes back to, at that time in my life, I could say I looked up to like one or two individuals, and they was doing all the types of wrong stuff. So I was doing up there all types of wrong stuff. I was networking the way I wasn't supposed to be networking.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm up at school for other reasons. I was on campus all the time and not in class.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what you said. You just taught me something. Honestly, I feel like I should have been up there networking and building. I kind of wasted. I used to say I wasted time. That was a waste of time. No, I wasted the time. So
I think it's again. We don't waste time. It's just I think we waste experiences. And I think you gotta look at it and ask yourself like, okay, what did I learn from this experience? You may not know why you were in it or why it happened, but I think God allows certain things in our life to happen so that we can reflect back on it and then not only learn from it but help the next person.
Damn, boy, you smarter than I thought.
So it's just really like, it's just really thinking about like, damn, like this happened because, like, bro, I look at certain things that happened in my life, and when I was going through it, boy, it's just like, man, I hate that this going through. I hate that this happened, and so on and so forth. But then later on in life, that replays, and you start thinking like, okay, now I understand why this happened, so I know how to deal with it. Or when boom comes to me with that problem, oh, bro, that's nothing. I'm gonna put you on the plate right now how to overcome that.
So another thing though is I think we got to start doing is challenging norms. So I didn't realize, I didn't know this until last year, and I learned this from somebody. I don't know if this is fact. I've never done research, but it came from a credible source. The United States is the only place in the world where you leave high school, you go straight to college. Everywhere else, you have what is called a gap year. And that gap year, so you can travel, you can figure out, you can do whatever.
I heard this before.
You can do whatever. Yeah. You can learn yourself. Because just really think about everything else you've learned up until your senior year. Somebody else taught you. Somebody else has told you this is how you should do it. Blah 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 blah. Why do we not give ourselves some time? Why do we not have time to really think for ourselves to say, do I want to go to college?
Yeah.
Let me go try this and let me see if this is really what I want to do.
So when your kids get older, you want to make that gap year mandatory?
For me, it's no questions asked. It's like before. I don't want them to go straight to college. I want them to experience, like, have that gap year so they can figure things out without mommy and daddy.
Your kids want to go straight. They're like, I want to do this. You still want to be like.
Okay, so now if they playing sports and they have something that
time is of the essence.
Well, your time is of the essence. Then that's one thing. If they want to, if I see in my daughter's behavior that she really wants to become a doctor or a lawyer or something that really requires her to be in school, then I'll say, okay, go ahead and do it. But even if she says, I want to go, I'm going to highly suggest, and one way that I'm raising my kids is to don't just go with what daddy says. Challenge daddy's opinions. Challenge daddy's thoughts. Because if she can do it to me, she ain't got no problem doing it to nobody else in the world. And that's something that, again, I was never taught that. So I want to make sure that I instill that in both of my kids. Don't just, if daddy, I believe in God. I believe Jesus came down and died for our sins. That's my belief. I'm sorry. Make sure you go get your own belief. So for me, I'm going to highly suggest that they take the gap year. But that's her choice, because at the end of the day, if we're really going to follow society, which I'm totally against, but society says 18, they're really an adult. So that's my thoughts on that.
I like that. You going to do the gap year?
I don't know. It's really up to the kids, bro. It's whatever. Because I think the way that I'm raising them is different than the way my mom raised us. Like, my kids have thoughts, they have feelings, they have opinions, and I'm going to hear them out on it. Like, yeah, I'm daddy, I'm alpha, but at the end of the day, they're individuals. They are their own people. So it's me listening to them and understanding to say, okay, what is it that they really want to do? But again, with my wisdom, I'm going to come in as a father and say, hey, here's what I think. But at the end of the day, they're going to know how to make a decision on their own, the decision that works best for them.
Bro, just think about that. Most people in life, they don't know how to make a decision. Because as kids.
I know people right now that don't know how to make a decision.
As kids, they mama never let them do that. They mama and they daddy never let them make a decision. It can come down as simple as, what do you want to eat? At least they know, today I want Chick-fil-A or today I want cereal. Just really think about that. Some people, for their entire first 18 years, somebody's made every decision for them. How are they supposed to go out in the real world to make a decision if they were never taught that?
I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier. We're putting people out in the world that technically don't have any skills, but we're trying to force them and wonder why they can't make decisions or why they can't do certain things. It's like, I'm putting you, like, why can't you fly this plane? Yo, I've never been in flight school. Like, you want me to make these life-changing decisions, but I haven't been doing that my whole life. And I think that's something that as parents, you know, we have to go ahead and take control of, because like you said, we're setting these standards early on, because we know when they turn 18, quote unquote, they like nobody's gonna care about your dreams as much as you. Nobody's gonna care about your goals as much as you. Nobody's gonna care about you as much as you do. So we have to really prepare them for when they go out there and they face that. Like when somebody say, hey, what do you want? And you don't say nothing, all right, I'm choosing for you. It's not gonna be like us where, oh, let's think about it, let's talk about it. Like you on your own. So that is very...
One thing, I gotta respectfully disagree when you say that nobody's gonna care about your dreams, goals more than you. Mm-hmm. There are times in people's life where they don't have a lot of self-love and self-worth to realize that they can accomplish something. So they need somebody to really care more for them than they care about themselves. I think that's another struggle with society. We supposed to all walk around, have no problems, and be perfect. Nobody, like, just really think about, at what point in your life did somebody teach you about self-love, self-care, and self-worth? Has that ever really happened?
Like a sit down?
Like really sit down and just really, really love yourself and really know that you can be whatever you want to be. Yeah, like people tell you that, but they really like you can get this done. The reason why I can speak to that, because it's from experience.
Right.
One of my mentors, this lady is
I know you're talking about.
God sent. Yeah. She make us feel like we can do whatever. Like we can compete with whoever. You and I believe, y'all can do it. And she, like, I always bet on myself. I've always been a highly confident person, but just having her around made me realize how other people need that type of person in their lives. Mm-hmm. Thank God I've never needed that, but I know other people that need somebody to really care about them dreams and goals, because a lot of people, they want to get it, but they don't even believe enough in themselves that they can. So somebody else needs to care for them. Somebody else needs to be there for them. Mm-hmm. That's why, again, mentorship is so important. That's why you need to pay to get in the right rooms with certain people, because some people care about you more than you care about yourself.
When you put it like that, true. That is a lot of people, big brother, big sister, type, bro, that really care for you and really look out for you. I feel as though that is true. That's 100% fact, but it's not as much as as out there. You know what I mean? So we still got to but that is a fact. That is a fact. It's some people early in my career that's like, yo, the person that got me started in real estate believed in me before I was like, man, bro, I really think this might work for you. I'm like, bro, go ahead, bro. You should really try this. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it. I'm glad he did. I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, bro, like, I wouldn't be here. He's like, no, you would be here without me. I'm like, no, like, I really wasn't, like, what I was trying to do wasn't, it's funny, around that time I said, yo, I want to own a couple. It's so crazy how our goals change. Like, I want to ask you guys a question, right? And we'll go back and forth, right? What was years ago, what was a goal to you guys that is like, yo, that is like the smallest
making $1 million. Yeah. I think, like, for me, like, making $1 million, you get there and it's like, first of all, this is super easy, and like, wow, I can really do way more than this. Like,
you realize it's not a lot of money at the end of the day. Especially doing what we do. Like, you can blow especially down here, you can blow $1 million on a budget, like, not for purchase and rehab. For me, years ago, like in high school, I was like, I want to own a couple houses, like 2 or 3 rental properties, 2 or 3 rental properties, and open up a barbershop hair salon. I'm not cutting the hair, but I just own it. I was like, it'd be cool, like that. Watching everybody.
A hood billionaire.
Exactly, that was my goal. I'm like, yo. So I went to college and business, but that was like, yo, I'm gonna try to save some money. I'm gonna open up barbers. I'm like, and only 2-3 cribs, and I was gonna be lit. Looking back now, it's like, yo, what the hell was I? Not to say nothing wrong for anybody watching, but it's just like, it's a lot more out there.
But that started to change because, number one, you took action. You realized, like, dang, I can do this over and over and over. That's number one. Number two, you got around other people. You expose yourself. Exposure leads to expansion. So once you expose yourself, you're like, dang. And it ain't even a competition thing, but he got, like, the whole perfect example with us. Seeing other people make so much money in education and impacting so many lives. Because, again, I never thought that we can, I thought we can do it, but I just, like, is it is it really something that can really be done? And then I exposed myself at the event that we were talking about. I'm like, hold on, we can definitely do this, and we can do it so much bigger than what is being done right now. So yeah.
And it's crazy, you know. I did this. I had a mental space a while ago, back to what we were saying earlier, when we saw my levels.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had a not comparison, but I was like, you know what? Like you said, can I really go ahead and express this, explain and teach this? But I'm still chasing this level. Yeah. So I got off Instagram, got off everything for like 2-3 months. And it was, I remember this like it was yesterday because I was working on a rehab. And I just locked in on that, and another one of like 2 months, 2-3 months, right? It took like 60 days, like 70 days to do the thing. I was locked in on that. And when I tell you I got so many messages, DMs, phone calls, emails, text messages, like, yo, like I needed you dropping some gems and tips and information. I needed you to go. And you realize that there are a lot of people that are only starting off of the strength of you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, literally only starting off of like your Instagram post is the only reason I started. Your Instagram live is the only reason I started. Your video that you dropped is the only reason I'm out of the situation I'm in. And that's what really got me back on. I took literally 90 days off. Wasn't doing nothing. You couldn't find me.
I think that goes back to the point of who we are as people. We identify ourselves with certain character traits, certain things, certain beliefs. And certain times, whether we know it or not, but subconsciously the mind works and say like, I subconsciously can be this person because I see somebody that looks like me, that acts like me, that thinks like me already there. So we are people that others want to think, that want to be with. I mean, be like. They identify themselves with people like us. Man, they black, they from the hood. Them boys can do it, I can do it too. So every influencer, or whatever you want to call it, or you know, somebody that has achieved something, has somebody that identifies with them. So when they see that post on Instagram, they be like, boy, I know, boom. Especially if you from my hood, my area. He grew up rough part of Philly, you know, didn't make it through school. My story, his story speaks to my story. And then when I see you can do it, it's just like, boom. So like I tell people all the time, God bless us with 3 things: our family, our friends, our time, and our imagination. And the one that we don't put the most value on is our imagination, bro. Like really think about it. We're the only humans on this earth that can see things before it happens. Yeah. You could close your eyes right now and envision driving the Lambo, living in a $5 million penthouse. You know, you could close your eyes and see those things. So like the Bible is real. It tells as a man thinketh, so if he, like for me, if I could think it, I can make that play and it's gonna happen for me. So yeah.
That's a fact. So look, one thing I want to say, close it up, because I feel me getting excited. We've been here till tomorrow. So I was like, but one thing I want to say, I want to close it up with 2 things. 1, what's the future for you guys, and 2, what's a hack? All right, 3 things. You don't mind?
Nah, go ahead, bro.
What's the future? Matter of fact, I'm not gonna ask all 3 at one time.
Thank you, because I was gonna have to ask you again.
Yeah. What's a hack that you guys have, that you guys do, that you don't mind sharing, that you know other people not doing, that's helping with your success?
Morning routine, bro. Yeah. Like once I became really consistent, because at one point I do it for 1 week, then the next week I'll do it 3 days, and the next week I'll do 4 days. Once I got consistent with my morning routine, and I'm doing it every single day, everything just got better. My morning, I'll give you my morning routine. I wake up. And I say, thank you, God. Thank you so much for waking me up. Because now I'm looking at life. He almost died. But it was last year, the year before that? 2019, he almost died. So I'm thinking like, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. And then I got this from Jeff Bezos. I don't know if it's true or not. They say supposedly in the first 5 minutes when he wakes up, he's just thinking about what he wants to do with his life. So
I heard that too.
Yeah, once you start, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Once you start asking yourself how you make it happen. So I started thinking like, dang, what do I want to do? Like, and just getting clear. Then what I do, I go in the mirror, bro, and as corny as it sounds, I used to hear people like, oh, tell yourself who you are, do the affirmations. Man, that's corny. It works.
I used to think
like, bro, like every morning I tell myself I'm the greatest entrepreneur ever. I'm greatness personified. I make $1 million a month. I got a team that really cares about my success. My family, we travel on a private jet at least 5 days a month, every single month. On vacation. I'm telling myself those things. Then after that, I meditate. Because for me, like meditation, I think everybody needs to do it. I meditate for like 12 to 20 minutes. Then I read my devotion. Then I pray. Then I'm at it at that point. That's my morning routine.
What is that, like a 60-minute thing or 30-minute thing?
It'd be like depending on how long the meditation is, but it's usually between like 35 to 50 minutes.
Okay,
in the morning.
That's good. And I read this thing and I started doing this. Don't look at your phone for the first 30 minutes to an hour.
I don't even touch that.
Don't look at your phone for the 30 minutes to an hour.
It's energy, bro. Like when you look at your phone, you are allowing other people problems to impose on you. So, and even the same, like for me, like I don't check my emails in the morning because when you're answering emails, you're basically helping somebody else solve their problem. So let me take care of what I need to get taken care of first. Take care of myself, then I'll take care of you. But to answer your question, like I think it goes kind of hand in hand with the morning routine. But this is something that I've started doing like last year, but really implementing the beginning of this year. Is writing down my daily habits and my goals. So I do something called habit stacking, where in the morning when I wake up, it's like, okay, here's the things I gotta get done. I stack one habit after the other. And once I started doing that, bro, I really started seeing like things change for me. So am I out of bed by 5 a.m. every morning, even on the weekends? Do I make it happen? No, but at the end of the day, I'm conscious of it. So I have a paper that I've written out, and it was one of my mentors who put me on to this plate. He was like, guys, it's one thing to say it or tell yourself to do it, but start writing it down. So I printed it out, bro. So every morning I gotta wake up by 5 a.m. I gotta read my devotion and read the Bible, pray and spend time with God, meditate and visualize, go over my long-term and my short-term goals, and then make sure I go to the gym and some other things within there. So as I do it, I gotta check it off. Yes, it's done. Yes, it's done. So when I stack those habits, now it becomes routine, and then now it becomes second nature, and you don't even think about it. So now that I'm doing that, bro. Because like before, I didn't really think about things that I'm grateful for. So a part of that habit stacking is I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. So that just puts me in a completely different state of mind, bro. It put me in a great space. Like when you think about like just the little things sometimes you're grateful for. Guys like us, we make 6 figures on the deal. It's like, oh, it's cool. But then we got to remember, bro, this is not every day. Like people praying to make 6 figures a year.
People that's been doing this for years still don't do this.
We made that in one deal. So it's just like, be thankful for it. And the more you're thankful for something, I think the more it shows up in your life. So every day, I just habit stack, and it's really
like
game changing for me.
Habit stack, I like that. Yeah. What's and one thing you say, some days it might be a little funny, and for people that's watching, one thing, because I'm an early bird. But then some mornings you just get caught up in the midst of things. Yeah. What I started doing was I put my phone on the dresser across the room or in a total different room and set the alarm. Yeah. A lot of times it's not the fact that you're still tired, it's just that you just comfortable. Yeah. But the second you gotta get out of bed, all right, I'm up, I'm ready to go. Yeah. So that's what I started doing. Like I'll put my phone across the hall, and now once I hit that first foot going, it's like, all right, I'm live now. But we stay in the bed because out of comfort, not tired.
You could just snooze and
it's like it feels good laying there for a little bit. I'm not tired, but it just feels good laying. So I'm gonna stay another 20 minutes. 20 turns to an hour. Yeah. Like, shit, I thought it was 5 now, 6. Now I gotta really start rolling. So, and second question, what's one thing that a mistake y'all made in business that you learned a crazy lesson from that you changed everything for you? Like one thing, like we did
not getting rid of bad people fast enough.
That's
look, man. Bro. Like I think, man, like we was talking about earlier, things happen in your life for a reason. When we had that cleaning company, we were managing $10 an hour employees, and nothing against those type of employees, but they come with their own headaches. You're at that point, you're the doctor, the lawyer, the psychiatrist, the baby daddy, the baby mama, everything. They don't know how to separate emotions from work, so they bring that negative emotion.
At least from our experience.
Yeah, they bring that to work. So, and we, the caring, genuine, nice guys that we are, we try to hold on to people. We try to see the good in people and hold them around too long. But what that does to you is it makes you slow down. It makes you not accomplish your goals, because if you don't got the right people around you, you're not going to win. We have a saying in our office, the team with the best players win, and that is so true, bro. So once we learn to separate emotions and say, hey, they're good people, but I'll be like one of my mentors just said, I'll be a character reference for you. You have great character, but you just don't cut it. This is not for you. So once we start realizing that and saying, hey, if you're not trying to help us get to where we're trying to go, and you're not possessing that skill that we need, I'm gonna let you go. I think you're a great person, but this is not for you.
Right,
Your question was, what's one mistake
that
right?
you made that turned into a great lesson that changed everything for you?
I think for us, accountability, not holding each other accountable, not holding other people accountable.
Yep.
That's something that we struggle with for the longest. Because again, I try to be a good person, you know. But for us, not having the account, I'm gonna keep it short for the time, but just not having extreme accountability was a huge mistake. So if I'm telling anybody anything, it's to have metrics, have accountability in place, and make sure you stick to it. I don't care that something happened at your house where you had to meet the plumber there. You move on your own time.
Right.
But this week, I need 3 deals from you.
Yeah.
I need you to bring in $60,000 a month of revenue for the organization because this is what it is. And don't bend on that accountability.
I like that. I like that. I'm not going to micromanage you, but understand it has to get done at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care if you get it done close to the end or first thing in the morning.
Just get it done.
It has to get done.
This is the
I
date.
like that.
Get it done.
I like that. Last question is, especially since it's the beginning of the year, so this is perfect timing. It's December 31st, 2022, and what are you saying to yourself? So what I mean by that is, yo, boom, it's December 31st, 2022. I accomplished, boom. Like, you don't got to go down the list. I know there's a lot of things.
For
but
me,
what's that
bro,
one
one of the
thing?
biggest things that I just want to just hold myself accountable to is keeping the commitments to myself. For so long, it's like I be on it. Oh, it's fine. For me, I said this is the year I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to focus on discipline. I'm going to focus on keeping the commitments that I make to Jeremy Mathis. I think if I know, because I've seen other people happen, and then when I do keep those commitments that I set with myself, everything falls in line the way that it's supposed to, and I'm going faster. So just extreme accountability and keeping my commitments and being disciplined.
I can relate to that. I've been going to the gym for years, but I always stop. I always do 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then the rest of the year stop. This might sound corny for people, but one of my main personal goals is to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week for 52 weeks in a year?
Yeah.
For 52
Yeah.
weeks. Simple. That's it.
But I'm gonna tell you why you ain't gonna accomplish that. You said 3 to 4 times. It's either you going there 4 times.
Well, it's 4 times.
Okay, let's get it now.
You know, I got 3 times with my personal trainer.
Got you.
And then I got 1 2-mile run on a Saturday morning before we start the day.
Got
Yeah.
you.
And then the other is during the weekday. I go, I'm not gonna say the exact time,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go 3 days out
Yeah.
the week, and then Saturday morning, a 2-mile run
Dope.
every morning. And I just want it consistent. What I was doing was I was going 5 days a week, and I'll do it for 2 months, and I burn myself out, and then now the rest of the year just got chalk.
Yeah.
And I realized sometimes we, like you were saying, we set these crazy goals. Not to say it wasn't crazy, but we kind of burnt ourselves out a little too fast, a little too early. So now it's like, yo, 3 days with the personal trainer, 1 day for me. Like personally, just 2-mile run, nothing crazy. Yeah. And then now I know for a fact, it could be a horrible day. I can make that happen.
Yeah.
So that's one of my personal goals. 12 months of that. That's my personal, not the business stuff, but that's the personal goal for me. But
I think for me, it's just be like, I want that feeling to be like, boy, we really made it happen this year. Like, because like you said, we set these goals and like guys like us, our goals are so big to where we have big years, but we never hit the goal. So for me, it's just like having a year where it's just like, we really made it happen this year. Like, boy, like everything we said we was gonna do this year, we made it happen plus more. So I think that's what it is for me.
Yo, and this really last thing. Come on, because this is for me. Want y'all personal opinion on this. How do you feel about diversifying? How do you guys feel about diversifying in other business ventures and other investments? Or do you feel like, yo, let's lock in, let's stay focused on this one thing?
So I'll go first for that. I think before you jump into anything, you got to become an expert in something before you jump into the next thing. So for me, it's like, don't switch lane. Like think about it, when you're driving down 95 or you're driving down the interstate and then you get over to the next lane and you're not paying attention, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get in an accident. So that can happen in business as well. Like you're great in this one lane. I'm great in real estate. So yeah, I want to do these other things, but let me become the expert in real estate. Let me build the team so I can delegate and they can keep the show running. Make sure I build out the correct message so I can know how to gauge my business within a 5-minute time frame. So once you get to that point, then I think you should just go and say I'm going to get involved in other ventures.
Nice.
He hit it dead on the spot. Like, I think a lot of people out here, they praise, multiple streams of income, do this, and bro, get one.
Yeah.
Get one good one.
Consistently.
Good one. So if something happens, you can always fall back on that one good one.
I got this thing I say where people say multiple streams of income, but if you're making, let's say you're making $5,000 a month from, that one stream of income, and then you start trying to run and do this other stream that's bringing another $1,000, it's like you should just stay there. The one that just made it go from 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Like if you got a job, why leave that job and get a second job? Just see if that other job go overtime.
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of people do that, and I see that all the time. And I even caught up with myself in that, and I had a couple other moves where it was bringing in good money, but I realized, like, at the end of the day, it was bringing in good money. Like, people would pray for that money, but it's like I started to think about that a little bit, even if it wasn't a whole lot. Like we talked about, when we was talking about this with that other business, I'm like, I don't really like it, like, because at the end of the day, people are handling it for me, but it's a thought I gotta think about. Like if I'm saying yes to somebody else, I'm saying no to something else. So if I'm saying I'm giving my thoughts to that even a little bit, that's less thoughts I'm giving to the thing that really brings in the bread.
Do you have? I heard this on the podcast. Do you have multiple streams, or do you have multiple pawns?
Distractions.
Right. Do you have multiple streams or multiple pawns? What I would like to close this out on is just make sure you have a good circle. I felt so comfortable checking you and saying I respectfully disagree with you. And as I said, and I just had a thought, like, that's who I want in my life. I don't want somebody who finna be in agreeing with evereverking. Like, we boys, but that don't mean I gotta agree with you all the time. I'm gonna tell you how I feel, and respectfully. And you respect that. You respect how I feel.
And then also, what you said, I was like, dang, he is right. So having an open dialogue, like, that was right. My fault. That was solid. So it's like that. And just to close it out, I told myself that I'm bringing it back to that first year. For me, I burnt the ship on a lot of stuff, and I did that private. A lot of people don't know that, but I had a couple other things going on. I burnt the ship on a lot of stuff. I said I want to bring it back to that first year. That first year, closing deals, like putting things together. That feeling where, like, yo, if this don't work out, like, I'm screwed. like ain't no other lane coming in. Like, so I wanted to. And I told myself that, this year, I want to see what it's going to feel like with the information and resources and knowledge I have now. What if I gave it that heart I did that first year, but then I got the mentorship, the information and resource, like, who knows what it's going to look like by the time December comes, by just giving it that feeling back, that first year LeBron, like, you know what I mean? Feeling back. So, but I really, really appreciate you guys for allowing our regular conversations to finally be, exposed to the world, because I think this is going to change a lot of people's lives. And I'm not just saying it, just say it. I really feel like that. So if you can, drop your information so people can just tap in, especially now y'all really about to start sharing this on your own platform. So how can people like tap in with you, follow you, or whatever?
We on Instagram and TikTok at Mathis Twins, MATHISTWINS. So that's the best way to tap in with us. Mathis Twins on Instagram.
Bad. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Man, thanks for having us, bro. When you asked, I'm like, of course. What? You need the whole day, half a day. What you need?